It's time for Glambition with me, Joanne Strauss, and your weekly dose of celebrating African beauty. Now, today's topic, yummy mummies, women who have it all, successful careers and gorgeous babies. Joining me in studio first, we have Danae Renaka, media mogul in the making, and top international model, Jenna Peterson. Danae, I want to start with you.
Yeah.
Your little Baba is just a few months old. How did you actually manage to jump back into shape so quickly and into work?
I'll be honest with you, jumping back into shape, I did nothing at all. I would lie if I said I went on a diet program, on a gym program. I'm probably the last person you'd ever catch at a gym. And getting back into work, I'm a workaholic. And I feel that in order to be a happy, healthy mom for my kids, I need to continue doing the things that keep mommy happy. And the only thing that really keeps me happy is my work. So getting back into it is just part of the program. It's part of motherhood. It has to happen. And, you know, being #1 provider for the children, I just have to get back into work. There's no this or that about it. Mommy has to work. She has to earn a paycheck. Kids have to go to school. I have to save for the kids. They have to have their bills paid and everything. So, it's part of the process. Part of the process, yeah.
Your baby daddy. You're a baby mummy. The baby daddy is Jack Parrow.
I mean, hello. I love that.
Yeah. Tell me, it must be also a huge support to have a strong, supportive father. I mean, his image on stage, he's not that as a dad, is he?
Not at all. He's a very soft, kind-hearted person. So I think I look up to him quite a lot. And he's ambitious and he knows exactly what he wants and he makes it happen. Whereas sometimes I'm more like a talker and a dreamer, but he makes stuff happen. And that inspires me quite a bit. Yeah.
For you, Danae, I mean, to have a strong fatherly figure in your children's lives, is it hard, though, to sort of be the very dominant figure sometimes and not always have a strong, supportive father to rely on?
It's so tough. It's so tough because I get tired of wearing the pants. I do.
You wear it well, though.
Thank you.
But I can imagine.
I like being a woman in a relationship. I like being a girl in a relationship. It's very important to have a strong, reliable, supportive male figure that knows how to be a male figure in your life and in a child's life, and that knows their place, that stays in their lane and plays their position, so you can also play your role as a woman. So it's a tricky one, it's a difficult one.
Did you have easy or difficult pregnancies, and did you feel beautiful during pregnancy? Because everybody speaks about this yummy mummy pregnancy glow. Does that happen?
I had so bad pimples and water retention in my face. Yo, I look like an Irish man, and everyone was like, glow, you're gonna glow. I'm like, I'm waiting.
Did the glow not come?
No, I didn't have the glow. I was highly hormonal. I was so like, oh, I didn't know where I was. The second trimester was great. Like I was on top of the world.
Always, yeah.
I wanted to do everything. I wanted to go to the gym every day. Let's do this. Let's go away for weekends. Let's go out. Let's go out.
And did you have the pregnancy glow?
With my first pregnancy, when I found out I was pregnant, my biggest concern was, oh my gosh, Mom, my nose. I really don't like my nose.
Hold on, you thought your nose was going to change because of pregnancy?
Yeah, no. Women change with pregnancy. Like some women's noses swell up and you get all these blackheads and whiteheads and the lips go, like we transform, guys. It's a shocking experience. Like some women, they don't have it good, they don't have it easy. They like go from to in a couple of months. It is pretty rough. And I was so worried. I thought, oh my gosh, hypothyroidism. I've got an underactive thyroid. I haven't been putting on weight. It's been a miracle. Now all of a sudden I'm gonna pack on the weight. And I've been radiant with both pregnancies. I've glowed with both pregnancies.
So pregnancy suits you?
I have not put on weight with both pregnancies. I swear to you, my pregnancy is where it needs to happen. Yeah. So I've really been fortunate with the pregnancies.
Fortunate.
But my mood swings, I'm foul when I'm pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, very foul.
But you're lucky with the weight, because a lot of women struggle with the weight.
Yeah.
In fact, we actually went to investigate how pregnant moms are able to keep their bodies in shape and really prepare for giving birth.
I used to exercise before I got pregnant. I wasn't sure how safe it was to continue going to the same gym I was going for the baby. decided to look for something that's designed for a pregnant woman that would help me still keep fit.
I'm a GP and I specialize in sports medicine with an interest specifically in exercise in pregnancy, and it's just something that appeals. Before they even come to Pregnant Bellies for a trial class, they're screened medically, and we actually have a checklist of things to ask people to make sure that it's safe for you to train.
My doctor also assured me that no, it was perfectly fine. It was actually the best thing for me and my baby.
Once we know that the baby's in the uterus, there's a little heartbeat, we're good to go. And you train right up until it's time to go into the delivery room.
Keeping fit will help me not only with the pains and the aches and all that, but also with delivery, as I'm having a natural birth.
There's a very conservative perception to exercise in pregnancy. There's a lot of myths and old wives' tales about what you shouldn't do, what you can and you can't do. And we work very hard to dispel those myths, and we do sometimes need to educate the care providers as well. We managed to do a good half an hour of cardio, and we still do the strength training as well. We use the ball for various reasons, but most importantly because it stabilizes the pelvis. And also it acts as a shock absorber, so that you can do the jumping and that little push to get your heart rate going up as well. At home, there's lots of things you can do. Depends obviously what you've got available. You can do squats and bracings. You can use a 1 litre bottle, fill it with water that's the same as a kilo, and use that as a weight.
After class, I feel energized, I feel strong, I feel happy. You know, exercise makes you happy.
So it does seem to be that the secret to staying sort of in good shape while you're pregnant and after is to start gymming during your pregnancy. Yes. Did you manage to actually maintain that, and did you balloon?
Yeah, I felt pregnant right after shooting Sports Illustrated, so my body was still like good muscle memory and everything, and I just maintained it. So I started doing water aerobics and prenatal yoga. But after a while, I felt like a hippo doing the downward-facing dog. It just didn't work for me.
And I remember you told me you were so proud of your booty, which you actually gained during your pregnancy.
I really liked my fuller bum. I loved it. And dancing also, you can do that whole thing. Shake it really nice, and the bigger boobs. Oh, it was great.
I think that's the one thing, one day when I'm pregnant, that's what I'm looking forward to, is actually having boobs.
I miss my boobs. I miss my boobs. I had cleavage for days.
Well, that's what I want.
I'd wear a vest and I'd be like, oh my gosh, where did you guys come from? I like you. I like this. Stand in front of the mirror, just go ooga, aga, aga, aga.
Yeah.
And then like a few months after the baby's born, you're like, hey, where's my friends? I have
they
twins
left
over
the
here.
building, you know what I mean?
Yeah, then you're left with little tea bags and you're like, what happened?
I look at your body. It's always a funny thing because women want what they don't have.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I look at you, and to me, you've got the perfect body, especially considering that a few months ago you gave birth.
Thank you.
I can't believe that,
Thank
you know?
See, I could do with your straight bottom teeth, your nose and your hands. I'm happy, thanks.
I want this one's leg.
I want smaller feet,
I could
that's all. I like my body, but...
I could do with that golden thing that you have going on. You look like you've just sprayed yourself with something.
No, I don't do sprays, and I don't do much makeup either. Yeah. I don't know, it's just, I feel too dolled up.
Jade is a typical Cape Townian girl who just likes to chill.
Kalf weekies in die sand.
Kalf weekies in die sand. On that very chilled note, we're going to go to a commercial break now, and we'll discuss more yummy mumminess after this. With me in studio now is someone who personifies sexy, yummy mummy. Lausha Cooper, top actress and dancer, choreographer. Girl, you hot.
You know what? Thank you for having me here, but I'd have to disagree with that. The other moms on the show, I took one look at them, I was like, wow, this is what motherhood is right now. I need to catch up a little bit.
It's hot to be a mother, and you're a hot mother, you know? How did you actually manage to incorporate pregnancy into your hectic schedule?
When I found out I was pregnant with Jenna, I wasn't backstage at the time. Fortunately for me, they wrote it into the story. At the time, I was also very physical. I was dancing full-time. So in that way, it sort of worked out nicely for me. I think, though, that the thing that stood out for me most about being pregnant with Jenna at that time was about whether I was happy with myself. I think, of course, the physical aspect to all of this is nice. It's good to look good after you're pregnant, but if you don't feel good, it doesn't really matter. And now, I mean, I'm nearly 35, and I look at it and I go, how do I feel about me? And that's for all moms. I think we need to start looking at not what other people say we should look like or what the stereotypical thing is, but what do we feel like? Do we feel good? Lorsha, do you feel good? Do you feel powerful? Do you feel excited about yourself? Because then I think everything falls into place from then on.
We managed to actually catch Cindy Nell just before giving birth to her gorgeous daughter and ask her what it feels like to be a mother.
So many nice things about being a mom. I just think, it's the little things, the little moments, when they cuddle you and they kiss you and they hug you. Being pregnant is not a handicap. It's something to be celebrated, and it's something that you do as part of your life. How many times in your life are you pregnant? Do you really want to say, oh, I'm going to be Miss Fitness during my pregnancy? I mean, I suppose there's a little added pressure to keep your figure in shape, but it's also something that I value. I value being fit, I value being healthy, I value looking sexy for my husband. But having said that, I understand that with the hormones come a lot of cravings. I myself have had a lot of cravings, but try and channel them. It's about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. If you say, I want to lose 5 kilos or 18 kilos, it's about taking the long-term view, because the short-term view will give you exactly that, short-term results. It's about finding the balance, but isn't it with everything in life? I mean, my life is so much more fulfilled since I've had Ethan. It has its challenges, but I promise you it is probably one of the most rewarding things. Just seeing this little human being forming and getting their own little personality. He's also a very independent little spirit, which maybe a lot of young children now are. They're very independent, but he's at 18 months, he's operating the iPad. I mean, I didn't even know how cell phone worked until I matriculated. I've also raised him to be very independent. But let me tell you, if anything goes wrong or they want anything or they get hurt, Mama! So in that sense, yes, he's a mommy's boy. Aren't men always?
Lots of gorgeous mummies all around. Joining me in studio, Leanne Liebenberg, of course, one of South Africa's top models. Now, your pregnancy, I remember having seen pictures of you, and you picked up a bit of weight during your pregnancy, as most women do. What was that like for you?
It was the best 9 months of my life.
Did you eat everything?
I ate everything I wanted. But I couldn't eat for 10 years as a model. I ate in 9 months. I'd drive home and stop at KFC and eat, and arrive home and be like, oh, honey, I'm hungry. And pretend I haven't eaten. So then I'll have another. I just ate and ate and ate. I picked up 22 kilos.
22 kilos.
Which I had to lose very fast afterwards, because I wanted to get back to modeling as soon as possible. And I did. I mean, I trained very hard. And I ate very strict afterwards, because I gave myself the 9 months. I was like, this is it, girl. Eat as much as you can, but once you give birth, no more. And 4 months later, I was in the Bahamas shooting swimwear.
Wow. For you, Lorsha, jumping back into shape, how long did it take you to lose the baby weight?
I think I was back down to my normal weight about 6 months after, not as quickly as Leanne. And mine sort of gradually just, it went off me. But when Jenna was about 2.5 years old, I put all the weight back on, but because of the emotional space I was in. So it's all good and well to say, well, it's the pregnancy weight that kept me there. We need to look at emotionally what's keeping us there. Leanne had a goal. She stayed positive. She went to it. I was down to my weight by 6 months, and then 2.5 years later, I was the same weight I was when I was pregnant. So it isn't. We need to look at what's causing that. We can't always be blaming the pregnancy. The
baby weight.
How do you still blame a pregnancy 2.5 years later? I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's the thing, you gotta realize it. And also, I was about to get married. Remember, I had Gia, and then I started like, wedding pics, so it's not just like, oh, I'm superhuman, it happens naturally. I worked hard. But like you said, you gotta look at the emotional state of what you were in at the time. And
yeah.
Now, for you also, you are very lucky to have a supportive husband. Do you think that that's made the pregnancy and also having a child easier?
I know I'm extremely lucky, and I thank my husband every day for being there for me and being so supportive. And he carried me throughout my pregnancy. It was just so easy. And like this morning, he said, "Yes, go to do Joanne's show. I'll take Gia to school. I'll go pick her up." And No, so we deal everything, and I could not do it without him. I would fall apart without him.
You and Nikki make the most beautiful babies. We need more. Do you want to have more babies?
I'd love to, yeah. Yeah, we're trying. We'll let you know. We'll let you know. Like Nikki asks me every morning, so are you pregnant yet? I'm like, no. Not today. I'm not eating it, am I?
I think we need a moment to absorb all of this, the viewers too. So we're going to go to a commercial break now and then chat more about yummy mummies straight after. With me in studio now, Zuraidah Jardine, who, again, epitomizes elegance, but your children are 2 and 3. That's quite a close gap. How did you actually manage to look as fresh if you must be getting very little sleep?
Well, you know, Joanne, people often say to me, I look glamorous at functions or I'm looking good. The reality is that when I'm not doing this kind of thing, you'll find me in my flip-flops and my sweatpants, and that's what I am. At most of the time, I'm a mom at home doing mommy things. And then, of course, when I need to glam up for Glambition, I glam up for Glambition.
And it suits you well.
Thank you.
Zuraidah, having such a short gap in between the 2 children, that must be really hard work.
You know, at the time, I got pregnant again when my daughter was 10 months old. And at the time, you know, people said, oh, have them close together, get it over and done with, it'll be great. And I thought that it would be, because that's what I really wanted. I wanted to have my 2 kids close together and then hopefully get back to work. It has been exhausting. So as much as it's incredible to have kids that are close together, and I know that as the years go by, they'll become closer and do things together.
And they'll be friends.
Right now, I'm just in the throes of it all where it's really hectic because I'm such a hands-on mom. I do everything myself. I don't have a nanny. So because of that, it's hard to keep it going. I am lucky though, because Josh is a very hands-on father. So he helps out incredibly with the kids. And when he's gone away for work, I feel his absence because he's so present when it comes to their upbringing.
What do you think makes women in general innately beautiful?
First of all, I think it's something that happens truly organically. You're growing a baby. There's a lot of cell division that goes on inside of you, and then there's that thing called the pregnancy glow. And I am aware of the fact that not all women have wonderful, beautiful pregnancies as I've experienced, but I have experienced those wonderful, beautiful pregnancies. And I think I also have a partner that makes me feel incredibly beautiful when I'm pregnant.
Well, motherhood certainly agrees with you. Another person with whom motherhood agrees is Vanessa Carrera, who has just given birth to triplets and is raising them alongside her gorgeous son.
You know, I actually didn't know that I wanted to be a mother so badly until I met my husband. And he literally awakened something in me. He awakened that maternal monster, I suppose. We struggled to have children. We had to do a lot of fertility treatments to get as lucky as we are. And looking back now, every single second was worth it. And I think that being a mother for me is the most fulfilling job I've ever had in my life. People can be surprisingly bad-hearted and mean. So I'd like to protect my children from that as much as possible. So that's why Chris and I have decided not to publicize our children or put any photos or any footage of them out there. We'd like to keep them private. Obviously, going through IVF, you know that it might be a possibility, you know, of having multiples. But we thought at most twins, you know, triplets was just not in our game plan, put it that way. At this stage now, they're almost 5 months old, and I can't imagine having just one baby. It's been so much fun with the 3 of them and watching their little individual personalities develop and their little faces, each one is completely different. I actually think that having one baby or having twins, I mean, that's amateurish, you know, like when I do things, I go all the way. So triplets, not a big deal. I think as a first-time mother, you really do put yourself into panic attacks because, you know, you read so much different literature, people tell you so many different things, you need this, you need that, and before you know it, you've brought out then entire stock and you end up not using 70% of the stuff that you've bought. So going into it a second time, I kind of knew exactly what I was going to use and what I wasn't going to use. You know, people often ask me, you know, how are you coping? How are you dealing with it? And the fact is there really is no secret to raising triplets, or in this case, 4 kids. It's been relatively easy. I felt a lot more prepared. I felt a lot more comfortable in my role as a mother this time around. But you know, I think the most important way to tackle motherhood, for me anyway, what has worked, is putting my babies on a strict schedule. And everything's been going relatively well, but you never know with babies.
Wonderful to see Vanessa, and she's got everything under control. Is that just her personality?
Absolutely. I tell you, Joanne, she has an incredible sense of calm, but she also has an incredible sense of humor, and I think that that's what's going to get her through this, this mayhem and madness for the next couple of years.
And when you watch her with all her children, would you consider, I mean, have you and Josh actually considered looking at more children? Because we have understood now that pregnancy is a good thing for you.
You know, right now the answer is no, because I'm trying to navigate my way through my 2 toddlers. You know, Joanne, I don't know. To me, being a conscious and a present parent is of paramount importance to me. And that's what I want to give my kids. I want to be there. I want to be able to be at extracurricular activities. And most importantly, I also want to be able to afford a certain lifestyle for them. And I feel like if you have more kids, in our case, it may be a bit stretching financially. So for now, the answer is no, but who knows? I don't know. I'm never, for me, the concept of having 3 kids has always been romantic. So we'll see. But right now, I have my favorite daughter and I have my favorite son, and that works.
Sarita, thank you so much for sharing your parenting tips and your post-pregnancy glow, which is obviously continuing into motherhood. You're just looking amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. For more on African women and how we celebrate their beauty, join us again next week on Glambition.